tell who's ever come or walking by or watching your television show that Dick Cheney should be arrested for war crimes. He started war on false pretenses, falsified information, lies. So he's a war criminal.
Well, he sure convinced me. Lock Cheney up immediately. Or for more rational thought, joining me now is blogger and free speech lover Katie Shaidle. How are you, Katie?
Oh, good, thank you.
Kathy, sorry. Now, you saw the clip. You saw the protesters. Every time someone from the right comes onto the fore, whether it be, Cheney or, God forbid, even Christy Blatchford when she was in London, writing about the Afghanistan war, the left shows up in droves.
Yep.
Some wearing masks, even, which we'll see later on. But
well, not quite droves. Back in the 80s, when I was a leftist, we used to pull stunts like this. And, Ronald Reagan would come to town, or Brian Mulroney, and, one of us would go to Lovecraft and get some handcuffs or something. And we would stand 500 feet away and wave the handcuffs around and say, we're going to arrest Ronald Reagan. But we could get 10,000 people out on University Avenue.
Why Lovecraft, though, for handcuffs?
Well, no comment. But it's today, they have like 100 people or something like that. So the left is really losing it. They're using all these really tired old tactics, for one thing. They're picking on Dick Cheney, who doesn't care, who thinks this stuff is funny, because I've heard him say that. And
yeah, he does. He just
thinks it's hilarious.
And he has no qualms about what he did when it came to Guantanamo or waterboarding or anything like that. He got some information that probably saved the lives of a lot of Americans, as far as he's concerned.
Right. That's right.
And he doesn't see himself as a criminal. So why does the left jump such huge tangents? Go from Cheney being a guy who, got us involved with Afghanistan and Guantanamo, but how does he become a war criminal?
Well, the left has run out of, apparently...
Is there no middle ground?
Well, there's no middle ground because they are really addicted to hyperbole at this point. They never really can present, and haven't been able to present for many decades, just a normal argument. When they were winning things, like in the civil rights movement, they didn't have to invent crazed, bizarre metaphors for everything. But today, the stakes are so small, and a lot of their battles have been won. So they have to pump up the volume. So everybody is a war criminal. Genocide is everywhere.
And what is Ann Coulter when she comes to town? What is she seen as?
Well, again, another war criminal, because she's a neocon, which we all know what that really means. People think Cheney's Jewish, and they get mad about that because they're anti-Semites on the left. It's very twisted. It's very strange. They know they have nothing. This is really an excuse for a bunch of losers who don't have day jobs. Because believe me, like I said, I was one.
Yeah, what converted you? You got a job?
Well, I had a job at the time. No, 9/11 helped a lot, pushed me over the edge, but I was always a little bit more of a libertarian, and there's way too much socialism on the left now that there used to be. Used to be a little more free speech, not shutting speech down. It's actually turned to the opposite of what it used to be.
Well, I've also seen the left talk about how only the right-wing conservative, the big money people, the Bank Street lawyers and the Bank Street bankers can afford the $500 ticket to go hear Dick Cheney talk.
Right, but they don't want to go, so I don't understand what the big problem is. It's silly.
Now, does Moore, the docu...
Michael Moore, yeah.
The fake document guy...
you got to pay to go to see him, believe me, yeah.
Yeah, but not $500 a ticket, I don't think.
No.
But Michael Moore has made he's a typical left who sees the capitalism that can help him out in the left side of things.
Oh, he's loaded, and we all know Al Gore is basically a billionaire now, and people like Thomas Friedman, they live in gigantic houses while telling the rest of us that we have to downsize and basically go back to living in caves. So there's so much hypocrisy here that I don't even think they see it anymore. They're just going through the motions at this point. If you really believe that Dick Cheney really was a war criminal, you would do more than just hang out outside some building and wave plastic handcuffs around.
A lot of this stuff is driven though by academia. It comes out of the universities. It's the professors who have you know, never come out from behind their little white picket fences long enough to see that there's maybe a real world out there.
Exactly.
And that troubles me a great deal because, you know, my own daughter had to go through the university system. She escaped with still with some conservative values, but boy, they fight back against those.
That's right. Well, I was smart. I didn't go to university, so I guess my brain didn't get brainwashed at my own expense.
But you got left by what? How? By being poor?
Well, actually, in a way, yeah, I was the first person in my family to finish high school, so college was just too much of a stretch for me.
and then sort of 9/11, then getting a paycheck, 9/11,
Yep.
started to see where your taxes were going.
And political correctness. I was a leftist when that first started coming in. And we used to laugh at it, and even on the left, and say, oh, we'll just make fun of this crazy speech code stuff. In a few years, if we just laugh at it enough, it'll be gone.
It's
and
pervasive.
30 years later, laughing at it didn't work, so I just had to leave.
And the political correctness is, you know, a term that's used to fight the conservative values. They say because we're not politically correct. You know, I don't know what you have to do, become dishwater.
Right.
And you just dilute yourself to the point that there's no substance left.
Well, and the expression comes from Maoists. If you were in a Maoist group in the 70s, you practiced like weekly political correctness self-accusations. You would accuse yourself of having violated some kind of left-wing groupthink. Now they're pushing it on the rest of us, so it's metastasized out to the rest of society.
So we can blame Mao.
Well, yeah, and his crazy hippie followers in America.
Yeah, well, I was one of them too back
Okay.
back in the day when the SDS was.
Yeah, SDS, the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I've been forgiven for that. Thank you very much, Kenny.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.